Well, guys, we want to start with the key differences between these newest charges and the other indictments. As of right now, these 41 counts and the case out of New York City are effectively presidential pardon proof. Now, if Trump is reelected next November, he would have the authority as president to pardon himself in both federal indictments. Those are the classified documents and the federal January 6th cases. But the president does not have the authority to pardon state-level charges. In this indictment, Trump is named as one of 19 co-defendants in what are called RICO charges. It's a way for Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis to tie the alleged actions of each defendant together into one criminal conspiracy. The charge carries a mandatory minimum in Georgia of 5 years in prison. For decades, RICO charges were used to bring down organized crime in the United States, targeting infamous groups like the Mafia. Former prosecutor and Democratic Congressman Paul Hodes says this indictment outlines a web of alleged illegal activity with the former president at the center.
In this case, different people could commit or attempt to commit different crimes, and it still all will come back to the kingpin. So former President Trump is like the Godfather.
And the former president is calling these latest indictments a witch hunt and attacking prosecutors for alleged political bias. He also says he'll be presenting evidence next week in that press conference, supposed evidence of election fraud in Georgia that he says will exonerate him in this case. Live in the newsroom, Ross Ketchke, WMUR News 9.
And tonight, supporters of Donald Trump here in the Granite State are rallying around him. They say Georgia DA Fani Willis is trying to influence the outcome of the 2024 election through the courts. Steve Botari joins us now.
Jamie, the direct quote is political persecution. That is how those closest to the Trump camp are describing to us tonight what they see in this latest indictment out of Georgia. Caroline Leavitt, the spokesperson of Trump's Make America Great Again super PAC, argues this case, and really the January 6th case too, are about trying to criminalize Donald Trump's thoughts that the 2020 election was unfair. Prosecutors, both at the state level in Georgia and the special counsel, have said it is not about Trump's political speech, but rather the former president's actions trying to overturn it. Leavitt says she thinks this is really about the next election.
This is election interference. This indictment is not about 2020. This indictment is about 2024 and trying to remove Donald Trump's name off the ballot because the Democrats don't want to see him in a rematch with Joe Biden.
In a press conference last night when asked about this, DA Willis said it's simply about the facts and about the law. But Leavitt says at this point, Republicans believe there's sort of a two-tier justice system. Democrats, she argues, in 2016 called Trump an illegitimate president, contested the results, and said Russia stole the election. None of them, she points out, were indicted. All, she argues, because there is a D that appears next to their names.